Welcome, everybody, to Ringside Chaos. It's yours truly, the master of the Mayhem. Don't think he's gone again. He's just lying in the weeds, waiting to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of Ringside Chaos. My name is Alex Alcazaz, and I'm also known as the Bear of Texas. And it's a pleasure to be welcomed and joined by New York City's finest, Ricky. This is going to be good. I had fun last time we did this for night one. So, Ricky, let's not waste any more time. We need to get right into it right now.
All right. So I'm going to release the rant now. Probably a little bit shorter than I had intentionally planned, but we're going to run with this rant. Wrestlemania 42, night 2. Supposed to be the bigger part of the both shows. The length of the show, however, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Now, Mr. Bearman, did we not have a short viewing of WrestleMania Night 1 when it was on yesterday?
Kind of felt like it.
So Night 1 went an hour and 21 minutes plus with all of the matches that were going on. We had championship matches that went 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The main event goes 23 minutes. We had one other match in the 7 matches yesterday that went in double-digit minutes. I think that match was like 13 minutes. An hour and 21 minutes. 23 minutes, I'm sorry. Mr. Bearman, could you kindly please deliver the total match time for night 2?
Well, I would love to, but Ricky, you might want to brace yourself because I think you are going to be caught off guard, and I think you're going to be caught so off guard that you are going to feel blindsided, sir. So before I go, I need to ask you one particular question. Are you ready?
No, but go ahead.
No, Ricky, I said, are you ready?
No, but go ahead.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, according to my research, the matches on night 2 of WrestleMania went for a total of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 32 seconds. So what does that tell y'all?
So
the night 2, the matches overall less than an hour and a half. That doesn't feel right, does it?
No, it doesn't. But here is where the rant continues. Both nights of WrestleMania, okay? 7.5 hours of sitting in front of the TV watching WWE WrestleMania. 2.5 hours. Actually, no, my math might be wrong. It's almost 3 hours, okay? 3 hours, okay? But out of 7.5, I only get 3 hours? Dude, on my social media, okay? This is even with listening to the dirt sheets this afternoon when I woke up, because it was a long night editing and building and doing whatever. You and I both went through it, although I was up for probably like another 3 more hours than you were. But I wake up to my social media and everybody is bitching and complaining and moaning that they spent money to either go to the venue and watch the event or going to the or watching it on ESPN or Netflix, or which one your viewing pleasures were. I know the international people got to watch it on Netflix. I became international myself and watched it on Netflix. I don't see the point of spending money. I truly now do not see the point of spending money on a product. If all I'm going to get out of 7.5 hours of watching a PLE is legit 4.5 hours of advertising, I'm not doing it. I'm going to be honest.
No.
I just can't do it.
I can't do it either.
I probably would have time to go relieve myself in the bathroom while watching 20 minutes of commercials in between a match. I'm sorry. That is some bad running going on.
So based on what you described, are you saying that there was more commercials than there was wrestling?
Yes.
Something smells fishy.
You know, I don't do politics. I've made this known, no matter what show it is that I go on. I don't do politics. But I'm going to use a political word right now. Oh, yeah. I hope everybody's panties are not going to be in a bunch after I throw this lovely SAT word around. It's called capitalism. Okay? Now, Bearman, you know about capitalism, right? In the whole political world, how capitalism works.
I mean, I hold stocks. I invest in stocks. So, yeah, I do.
So let's do a little history lesson on WWE, TKO, capitalism.
And I hold stock on TKO, and right now they're disappointing me.
So here's my little history lesson for all you little chaotic heads running around listening to Ringside Chaos right now, okay? The Chaos Heads. That's your new group, by the way, the Chaos Heads, okay? Don't even think we don't give out fans' names.
The Army of Chaos.
So here is my lovely capitalism lesson for you. After WrestleMania 41 ended, which was located where, Bearman?
In Las Vegas.
All righty.
Yeah, back to back in Las Vegas.
Did they not make the announcements last year at WrestleMania where WrestleMania 42 was going to be?
Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be in New Orleans. It was supposed to be in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
The site of WrestleMania 30 and 34.
Yay! Where Mardi Gras is and the half-naked women running around on the streets and everything. This is great. Now, let's go for the money grab. Keep an eye on that word, people. Money grab. We now move it from New Orleans back to where, Bearman?
Las Vegas.
Money grab. Here comes the whole year. Tickets go on sale for WrestleMania. And the ticket prices are significantly higher than last year. Where? Where is it? Where is it?
Las Vegas.
Okay. Now, not only did you move WrestleMania from New Orleans to Vegas, now later on down the line, here comes that word again, money grab. From what streaming service was WWE broadcasting on?
Originally?
Mm-hmm.
It was on Peacock.
And they moved it to where?
Before that, it was the WWE Network. What was it, $9.99?
Yes, $9.99. And then you go to Peacock, which I believe was only like $7. Okay, fans can run with $7. And now they moved to ESPN. Oh, by the way, how much is ESPN per month?
Well, how many plans are there? There's all these different plans. Are you talking about the cheapest? I don't even know how much the cheapest is.
Just a regular ESPN Plus app. How much is it, Alex?
You know what? I have it. I don't even know because I have the package with Hulu and Disney and the Disney Channel, so I don't even know. So I just look at my statement. I just look at my statement every month, like, oh man.
So here we go. $30. $30 a month for ESPN Plus. Oh, but if your local cable provider covers ESPN Plus. You don't have to pay anything. Newsflash. Not every cable provider covers ESPN Plus. So now you're shipping out $30 out of your wallet. Oh, wait, $30 plus tax. Don't forget the tax. Guess what? Money grab. What was one problem WWE TKO had for this year's WrestleMania?
Well, ticket sales didn't do too good.
So now they didn't sell tickets. How do they make up for it? Fucking advertising. Oh, wait, here comes that big C word again. Capitalism. So our WrestleMania for 7.5 hours this year was 2 terms: capitalism and money grab.
And I have a question for you, Ricky, because you bring this, you bring this lesson. You know where WrestleMania next year is?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, And for the last 10 years or so, WWE has been heavily involved with Saudi Arabia. And why?
Because they made a deal because of money grab and capitalism.
But at the end of the day, Ricky, what needs to be understood, it's purely business.
Here's the business problem with this all. Okay? Again, don't like to bring up the politics, but it may not be fully set in stone that it'll be in Saudi Arabia due to world events, for one.
Mm-hmm. Which we're not going to bring up.
2, you do understand that WrestleMania being in Saudi Arabia also then proprietary changes everything.
Right.
So now, if they still pull their bullshit with the money grab and they don't allow watch parties, being the fact that there's such a time difference between here and Saudi Arabia and you're a working person, how are you watching WrestleMania?
Good question.
Because WrestleMania would not start where it's been starting here in North America at 6 or 7 o'clock. There is a 5 to 6 hour time difference from where it's starting. So we're now watching WrestleMania at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. How much of a pull are you really getting for that 2 days in a row?
Not really. I mean, it's just I'm gonna feel so off. Like the time just doesn't feel right. Now, wasn't there a time where pro wrestling was on Saturday mornings?
Yes.
Except, okay, I mean, what was that, the 80s?
That was also Saturday mornings, and kids watched it more than adults.
Right. Then, of course, there was Saturday night's main event.
But again, you're watching that at a time where everybody is home.
Right.
1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, people are not going to just drop everything they got to sit there and watch 7.5 hours of commercials and advertising and only do an hour and a half per day of wrestling. You know what they're going to do? They're going to watch it afterwards. Granted, the results will be out, but people will then watch it on replay because that's the easiest way to go.
Right. And a lot of people are going to suffer from spoilers because people are going to post on social media.
Enough with the ranting.
Yeah.
We need to get some positivity going.
And look, y'all, Ricky is only trying to educate.
It's just the fact being is that there is a age-old term that I was told a long time ago, and I use it till this day. Stupidity belongs in the dictionary, listed next to sucker. But I was not a sucker for this one. Not at all. Now, we speak about the time of matches, but it is very apropos that the shortest match out of the entire WrestleMania card, night 1 or night 2, just so happened to be this lovely, significant battle of the big men. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar.
Guess how long the match was, Ricky?
Oh, I'm going to go the standard 5-minute route for Brock.
4 minutes and 46 seconds.
Boom, boom. So,
well, if you rounded, then technically you're correct, but it was 4 minutes and 46 seconds. That's the exact time.
But this is a prototypical Brock Lesnar match, especially after the last few. Now, mind you, Brock Lesnar walks into this match at WrestleMania 42, Night 2, at the ripe old age of 48. 48! One of the oldest performers running around in the wrestling industry right now. Or if you want to call it the sports entertainment. Whatever terminology you want, whatever floats your boat, you run with it, damn it. But let me tell you, young lion, old lion, two big beefy men, 4 minutes and 40-something seconds long. The changing of the guard was here. Obafemi does defeat Brock Lesnar. And let me tell you, not a impact match that you would see on your regular TV, but these guys threw each other around. There was some beef being flung around the yard in this match. And Obafemi wins. But the highlight, and I think this is the most significant part of WrestleMania 42, Brock Lesnar retires. Bearman, all yours.
Well, first things first, I mean, I was completely blindsided by this because I didn't expect it. I mean, there was no teasers, nothing. So, and I'm glad it was that way because you know what? When we're caught off guard like this, you know what? I think it tells the story a whole lot better. Am I right?
You know, when you have a shock, like you walk into WrestleMania, there are givens, there are theories, a lot of stuff put in the woodshed that we have no clue about. Anybody in the wrestling communities will tell you there was absolutely no sight of Brock Lesnar retiring.
No.
If even WWE didn't know he was retiring, well, guess what? Now they know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to talk about a couple of accolades, if I may, Ricky.
Go for it.
Well, now we talk about the accomplishments outside WWE. He's achieved accomplishments in the UFC as an NCAA Division I wrestler as well at the University of Minnesota, which, by the way, if y'all didn't know, he was roommates with Shelton Benjamin. In WWE, Brock Lesnar is a 10-time world champion, 7-time WWE champion, and 3-time Universal champion, so that makes him a 10-time world champion. A 2-time Royal Rumble winner. He won the Money in the Bank in 2019. He made his debut in WWE in 2002. Now that's the main roster because before that he was part of OVW. So we're talking about the main roster to be precise. So he made his main roster debut in 2002 at the age of 25, and 126 days after his debut on the main roster, he became the WWE champion when he beat The Rock at SummerSlam in 2002. So I think that was the quickest ascension to becoming world champion since making a debut when he was 25. So according to research, if it's correct, he was the youngest champion in history upon his first win when he was 25. Mentioned as well, he's headlined WrestleMania a total of 5 times. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite Brock Lesnar matches was his first ever WrestleMania main event against Kurt Angle. And of course, we all know what happened in that match, don't we, Ricky?
Yes,
because it was pretty scary, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that shooting star press. I think he landed and broke it. I think he broke his neck and then had a severe concussion.
Yes, he did.
That just shows how scary the wrestling business is, folks. So don't you ever, ever call professional wrestling fake. Don't you ever. And of course, we'll never forget, 12 years ago, he ended The Undertaker's legendary undefeated WrestleMania streak. And of course, Undertaker got injured in that match too. And, again, that shows how dangerous professional wrestling is.
All I gotta say is this. A, I have to find a new ringtone for my phone. I have legit Brock Lesnar's entrance theme as the ringtone for my phone. Brock, that is the tiniest little bit I'll ever be mad at you. That I now have to change the ringtone on my phone. I do not want to tear up every time I hear Brock Lesnar's theme now. But also, secondly,
well, I'm glad you say that because you know what I was about to tell you, Ricky.
What?
Just because the guy retires does not mean you have to change your ringtone. I mean, hey,
listen, this is a very bad streak as a wrestling fan and analyst that I'm going on right now. Okay, stupid as it's going to sound. We lost John Cena in December. He retired. We lose AJ Styles in January. He retired. Now it's April. 4 months later, now we don't have Brock Lesnar. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Do we become really that old that the guys that we see growing up retire, give us these huge emotional moments like something heavily is being pulled from our souls and saying, here, guess what? Screw you. You got to grow up more because now this stuff is not going to be in your life anymore. Do you know how hard it is to think that this guy should have been retired by somebody else as a storyline?
Yeah, a lot of people say it should have been Gunther.
They said Gunther was going to retire Brock Lesnar. Meanwhile, we have Obafemi doing it.
Well, it was a passing of the torch, Ricky. But you mentioned how these guys we grew up watching. I mean, you know what really is scary now? You want to know what's really scary now? Because who could be next?
I know who's next.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's retiring here. And there's one other name on the list. It would be probably massively more significant because of origins. But the next two names on the retirement list are Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio.
Actually, those two names were not the name I had in mind, brother.
Who'd you have in mind?
Randy Orton.
No. He said he was going till he was 50.
All right.
And Orton says he's going till 50, and I don't believe Orton's anywhere close to 50. I think he's like 47 or 48.
He'll be 46.
2 more years to go.
Yeah, well, he'll be 46 this year. I don't know when his birthday is, but I just only hope that Randy Orton can stay healthy.
Once again, Brock Lesnar retiring. It's scary. Unannounced. I think I probably would have had a little bit of a more prepared feeling for it to happen. But Brock Lesnar, thank you. Thank you for giving me the adrenaline rush. Thank you for performing on my television. Thank you for giving me the ultimately most awesome ringtone on my phone. And if this is indeed your last match at WWE, shit, good luck down the road, bro. Because you showed us something even after losing tonight the fans have never saw. And it's good to know that that side of you actually exists.
Thank you, Brock Lesnar, indeed. But, Ricky, there's something I need to get off my chest, and this is actually important because this is for educational purposes. But before I do, I need to ask you something, sir.
Sure.
What is your favorite Brock Lesnar match?
Wow. Brock Lesnar has had some legit bangers.
I mean, I can easily say WrestleMania 19 with Kurt Angle, which is one of them, but I think the ultimate one for me has to be No Way Out 2004 against the late Eddie Guerrero.
I have to say, as much as people will throw trash and shade on it, how many matches did they have? I can't tell you because my memory after watching 7.5 hours of commercials Probably just killed all my brain cells. Anything that him and Reigns had, those were car wrecks. I like a match where you got two guys throwing each other around, the moves. Like their feud was probably peak ultimate for Lesnar's career.
Well, you remember the match 8 years ago at WrestleMania 34?
Yes.
Did you like that match?
I did, but I also liked one of the last matches that Brock had with Roman Reigns where he brought the tractor out to the ring.
Right. Because the match that I mentioned, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That match right there significantly is a wrestle moment that Brock Lesnar, who we all know is good for hunting and doing everything with meat. He is a certified butcher for meat.
He's a businessman.
For him to bring down a tractor with a forklift on the front half of it, that's a wrestling moment. Because nobody ever drives a tractor into the ring.
When you talk about moment, the match he had with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34, I mean, you're probably one of the few that actually thinks the match was good because a lot of people say the match was horrible. I mean, and I'm not saying that just like that. I mean, you remember how what the fans were chanting. The fans were letting their opinions know, and the fans were pissed off. Mm-hmm. But Brock Lesnar was pissed off because what did he do as soon as he got through the curtain?
Oh, he went up on everybody behind the scenes in the production booth, everything.
Particularly Vince McMahon. What did he do to Vince McMahon?
Oh, wait, didn't he F5 Vince in the back or something like that?
No, he threw the Universal Championship belt at him.
Oh, yes, right.
There's that video. You hear Vince McMahon scream at him. I think he said, well, I mean, I don't, well.
I don't really see
that. He called it, Vince McMahon screamed a-hole at him. And then there was a story that Shane McMahon was so mad that he physically confronted Brock and that they literally almost got into a legitimate fight. I mean, Shane was doing Shane was only being a son.
Brock lives probably as one of the best ever combat sports athletes. And speaking of athletes, it's such a great lead-in for this one.
Well, hold on. There's something quickly I got to get off my chest. I'm sorry I didn't do it already, but there was some people on Twitter that was saying that Brock Lesnar has never had long matches, and I need to let the younger generation know that's not true. Brock Lesnar has had plenty of matches that were pretty lengthy. I mean, in 2003, he had an Iron Man match with Kurt Angle. So, again, I would encourage y'all, do some research before you post, because look, I'm just saying this just to educate you, because some people are not going to be nice like me. They're going to insult you on social media, and nobody deserves to go through that.
Well, speaking of athletes, leads us to the 6-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title. And we talk about athletes, there were plenty of them in this match.
Well, we know who the MVP is, don't we?
Before we even get to the MVP, here comes a little public service announcement from yours truly, the master of Mayhem. If you don't like those flippy dippy guys, do yourself a favor, flip yourself into the garbage can, run headfirst into the wall, and then put yourself out for the sanitation guy to come pick you up. Because flippy dippy massively works in this match right now. Okay? Can
you say flippy dippy again?
Flippy dippy. Because let me tell you, for this match,
oh God,
to finish off the free segments on ESPN, well worth it. Absolutely well worth it. Even Rusev, even though he's not a, bendy type guy, even he put in his work in this match. I mean, homeboy went through a ladder. So, and got up and just started walking around like normal, which was perfect for me. Kind of like a Terminator type, but, he's no Schwarzenegger.
Well, he's still the super athlete like he was back in 2014.
But let me tell you, these guys here, JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Penta, Rey Mysterio to some extent. You know, I mean, he's like 800 years old. And he's always at 175 pounds, which I kind of noticed that. He looked a little bit more than 175. Javon Evans and Rusev, let me tell you. Man, oh man, this was a ladder match. This was a ladder match. Bearman, you have to give everybody the MVP. I need to calm down from the whole flippy dippy shit.
No, I'm the one who has to calm down. I'm the one who's still trying to hold back the laughter. Well, you know, they say that the MVP is always the guy that comes out on top, that emerges victorious. Okay. I mean, maybe in the Super Bowl, that's probably the case, but this is not the Super Bowl we're talking about. This is not American football we're talking about. You know, we're not just like the NBA finals and whatnot. I mean, sometimes the MVP in professional wrestling in a match like this with 6 competitors, the MVP doesn't have to be the winner. Am I correct?
No.
Oh, I'm not correct.
Well, I would say that the MVP doesn't necessarily have to be the winner.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Am I right? Does the MVP not have to be the winner? That's what I was asking. So, okay, so I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the MVP, and there's really honestly no argument on this, is Javon Evans. And this guy, okay, I can't even say this guy. This kid, he's only 21 years old? Man.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Penta wins. Hands down, no reason for him to lose the title. Okay? There's no reason. He's obviously doing something that other champions, IC champions, have not done before. He's defending the belt in multiple promotions. Later on this month, I believe he's defending the title at AAA. I'm great with that. That makes that title international, not just intercontinental, but international for a lot of extents. Javon Evans is not Kofi Kingston 2.0. This version is better than the younger Kofi Kingston.
Guess how old Javon Evans was when he made his professional wrestling debut, Ricky?
I believe it was 16 he made his
He was 14 years old.
14, okay?
14 years old.
But he is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think I've seen him have a bad match the entire time up on the main roster.
Dude, that's an understatement. I'm just like, this kid is only 21 years old. I mean, he'll turn 22 in less than 2 weeks, but man. And this dude, he appeared for Game Changer Wrestling, appeared there about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. So, man, he's even appeared in AEW. He's actually appeared in AEW twice, according to what I'm seeing. In his last appearance for AEW, I think he worked a match against Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Satnam Singh in a 6-man tag match. Which we obviously know who won that match. Jarrett. Right.
Lethal and...
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this.
He was on the losing end, but still.
Now, I know there's probably 1,000 things we could even say about this match.
Right.
Everybody performed way above what I would have expected. Like you know how great the moveset is from a JD McDonough.
Right.
You know how great the moveset is from Dragon Lee. Rey Mysterio, like we said, might be on that verge of retirement. Like, I really didn't see anything tremendously large out of him, but he had a hand in the match. Rusev, as big and bulky and bruisey as he is, a homeboy went through a ladder, got up, and was like, like shook that shit off. It was like, all right, I'm going back to being a oversized man-child. And I would start throwing people around. But overall, this was a good way to finish out the free part. Like, we went into detail yesterday of how much of a train wreck that unsanctioned match was.
Yeah.
If I saw this 2 days in a row, I probably would be more enticed to watch. But it was a good way to finish off on ESPN, though.
No, absolutely, it was. It was.
So if you got to see this, you should be just as excited as I am. If you didn't get to see it, find a way to go watch it somewhere because it was well worth it.
It was absolutely well worth it. Yeah, it definitely was.
Now, this is where I feel it takes a dip. And there have been signs of this happening, but now I think it really is going to start to happen more. We have the U.S. title match that leads it off after the free version on ESPN going into ESPN Plus or Netflix. Again, whichever way you watched it, via VPN or internationally. This is what second hour leads off as. Sami Zayn, U.S. champ, versus Trick Williams with that deluded rapper in the corner. Like, I'd rather get my teeth pulled out than listen to the rapper, first off. I mean, everybody has their own preferences. I think he's trash. I really don't believe he had a place in this entire rivalry. But they put him there. Why? Money grab, famous rapper at Wrestlemania. Let's run with this. I do see the heel turn coming.
For Sami Zayn?
For Sami Zayn. Because walking to the ring, everybody is normally sing along with his theme song. Tonight, not so much. Not so much. That's a little bit of a problem, by the way. But everybody was kind of amazed and wowed and cheering more with Trick than they were with Sami Zayn, showing little heel maneuvers left and right. I mean, he left the rapper dude laying on the outside of the ring with a haluva kick. Nighty-nighted him to a throwing him into Mr. Barrier. I'm actually happy in a way that Trick wins, but also I'm not happy in the way that Sammy is supposed to be like this ultimate face, and now he's going to turn into like douchebagalo heel. That's
I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know what to expect out of Sami Zayn in the future. I mean, you know, Kevin Owens, we don't even know when he's coming back.
Yeah, but at this point, like, it seems every week we see a segment with Sammy. Like he's trying to be an antagonist, and then he flips over to be the marshmallow, to be somewhat of a face. And then as of like the last few weeks, like his matches have been kind of like roller coaster, comes in his face, does heel shit, walks out somewhat face. And then tonight, like nobody was really that enthused that Sami Zayn was even part of the card. Congrats to Trick though.
Yeah.
Because that signifies that they actually believe in the character. The fans are, as much as he's trying to play heel, he's getting face pop. And you really can't run away from the whoop that Trick thing. In my brain, I'm repeating it, but out loud, I'm not. But, I mean, this match here was how long? How long of a match was it? Do we have those numbers?
Oh, we do. 7 minutes and 7 seconds.
And compared to the other two matches that we talked about, where is that ranking in time? I know Lesnar was 440 something, but
that's actually okay. Well, let's not forget Liv Morgan versus Stephanie McCure was actually 6 minutes and 51 seconds. But the opening match, the Usos and that one was 7 minutes and 8 seconds.
So how much was this match?
This match was 7 minutes and 7 seconds.
Now, let's spitball a question. Quick answer. Should this have deserved more time being a mid-card title, or do you feel the time is correct for a mid-card title?
I think it should have been probably 3 minutes longer. But you know what's funny is that this was a very short title reign for Sami Zayn. He only a little over 3 weeks as champion.
Sorry, Sammy. I can't defend you on that one. Okay. 3 down, 3 to go. And I got to go with this. Lovely, lovely young Dominic Mysterio, supposedly the best Mysterio of all time, versus the Demon, Finn Balor. And I'm going to say, I got goosebumps seeing the Demon again.
Do you feel nostalgic?
There is something in wrestling lore that I find gets a little peculiar at some points. I understand the longevity of being a professional wrestler. I understand it. You want to make yourself as relevant as possible. And yes, some gimmicks do run their course. I understand the work that it takes to present that right there. Okay? I understand what it takes to put on the face paint and to get yourself groomed in a certain way. That takes hours of work. It's not such something you just walk in and you're done. That actually is taking time. It's done by a professional makeup artist that WWE has to hire every time that character gets put in play. So I can understand that. But for it being 3 years, and the last time that he donned the Demon makeup was against Edge, that gave me goosebumps. Because that's a significant character, especially coming over from New Japan Pro Wrestling. That means a lot. That's a memory right there. Original Bullet Club, Prince Devitt style. The Demon definitely holds a place in my heart. That gave me goosebumps.
Same. I mean, hey, he was the original leader of Bullet Club. He created the Bullet Club.
So knowing that I got to see the Demon for the first time in 3 years, I hope, Finn, I'm calling you out right now, okay? This cannot be the last time we see the Demon. There is a lot of nostalgia with the Demon that we need to keep around. It doesn't have to be an every month thing or an every 3-month thing. Give us appearances of the Demon a little bit more than 3-year periods, please. That's all I say. But you can give the outcome of the match, though.
Well, Finn Balor went over. Coup de grace through the table.
And by the way, last minute changes to the match. Because this was supposed to be a straight up one-on-one wrestling match. That it got turned into a street fight. That's why it doesn't say street fight on the graphic.
Right.
And it was only announced tonight before WrestleMania went on the air that the match went from straight to street.
Adam Pearce, baby.
But I'm going to tell you though, better than that unsanctioned match that they fucking had yesterday.
Ricky, I have a very important question now.
Sure.
Did they do this? Okay, well, was this really a last minute change by WWE Creative, or was this planned all along?
No, this was definitely a last minute change.
If that's the case, do you think they did this because they knew how much of a train wreck the unsanctioned match was? Did they do this to avenge it?
I think they did it for the reason being, and it'll lead up to my question because we're going to go to that segment before we hit the last 2 matches, okay? They did this because they didn't have enough pop and panache in night 1. Let's be serious here. Okay? Matches that they had yesterday did not match what they had today.
Nope.
Okay? We had a supposed unsanctioned street fight or unsanctioned match. I still call it a street fight. That really didn't throw up any fireworks. Okay? And we really had nothing else special on the night one card. Now you move to night two, you have a ladder match, and now you have a street fight. I'm kind of going with night two. And brings up the question, the immortal question, as I switch back to that graphic right there. I pose the question to you right now. If you are a member of the WWE roster, WrestleMania is coming up. Let's talk about prospectively. WrestleMania 43, Saudi Arabia, you know those crowds and the fans, they're a raucous bunch. Raucous. And I put raw as emphasis in that whole statement. You're a wrestler on the WWE roster. You see the debacle of this year's WrestleMania. Where are you going to want to put yourself on that card? Are you going to want to wrestle on night one? Or are you going to want to wrestle on night two?
Night two.
And give me the reason why you'd want to wrestle on night two. Just inform everybody listening to this podcast why you'd want to wrestle on night two.
Well, you know what they say. They save the best for last. And that's not arrogance, that's confidence.
You know my reasoning for it? Let's play a numbers game, okay? 50,815 versus 55,000 and change tonight. I want my face on night two. I'm in front of more people. Apparently, night two is the most significant card out of both nights. If they build a card bigger for night two than they build night one, I want notoriety. I want to be on the bigger show. Which also brings up the point that we were talking about before we went on the air to discuss WrestleMania. The difference in how many matches there were. There were 7 on night one and only 6 on night two. And apparently a match that was announced got pulled from night two. Am I correct on that?
Well, was it announced or was it just teased? Because I
believe that match was announced for night two. And that so happens to be the title that Julia holds. And she was supposed to be going against Tiffany tonight. And apparently that match disappeared. For the women's championship from SmackDown that apparently disappeared.
Well, you talk about a match that was scrapped. According to this, a match that was scrapped was actually supposed to be a singles match between Io Sky and Asuka.
Well, that was the second one that was listed for WrestleMania 42. However, I'll ask you this question now. If either one of those matches made the card for night two, would it had it improved night two? Would it have leveled out night two and gave it the full 4-hour run? Or would it have not made a difference? Either one of the matches.
It would make a difference regardless, but positive and negative. Do you know why, Ricky?
Why?
Because it depends on how the match is produced. It depends on how the match goes. How many times have we seen a match with tons of potential, tons of hype, and it turns out to shit the bed? How many times have we seen that, Ricky?
Well, we've seen that plenty of times. But then,
right. Yeah,
I'll throw this question out to you, though.
That's why it depends.
Obviously, other promotions do this. What is one division that needs to be shown on TV?
The women's division in AEW.
So now take a pick between the two. Which one of those two matches would you have preferred to showcase on night 2 to give the fans a little bit more for what they paid for?
Maybe Tiffany Stratton versus Julia, to be honest.
I would have gone with Asuka and Io because I think they could have given me a longer program.
Both of them could have done it, but again, like I said, even if one of those two matches, if they were on the card, it depends on how the match goes. If it's produced well, if it's executed well, if it's written well. I mean, there's a lot of things that it will depend on because it's going to make a difference regardless. It could be a positive difference or a negative difference, or honestly, it could be meh. It could just it could just basically not move anything.
Well, regardless of whether we got Julia and Tiffany Stratton or we got Asuka and Io, we did get Io anyway.
Yes, we did.
WWE Women's Championship match. It was champion Jade Cargill versus the Dominator, our female Dominator. This girl would be a fucking perfect dominatrix. Rhea Ripley.
The Eradicator. Mommy.
Let me tell you, sitting here watching this, now I'm granted, I'm glad I did not have my mic on while we were doing the watch party. My dad was ripping into Jade's entrance gear at the beginning of the match.
And that's not a good thing, is it?
He was ripping, he goes, that's freaking entrance things that you want to walk down. He looks like it looks like a total freaking chocolate ice cream cone at one point. That's what he called it. Like, it wasn't the greatest entrance gear I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen some great entrance gear, but her gear was like, ugh. Like, who threw you into the blender and just all your clothes popped on? That's how bad it was. But we got multiple appearances from people that were not on the card, obviously. We got Io. We got frickin' Jade's duo, Beat Bab and frickin' Michin. By the way, Michin, looking smoking hot. Wrestlemania. Kind of liked it. But then we also got Io at the same time. So we got 5 people, all legitimate. Well, okay, Beat Bab's not legitimate. But we got 5 appearances in this match. Which, again, if Io was wrestling Asuka, maybe Io might have not been out there for this. This outcome totally changes, maybe. But I gotta tell you, women's main, as being, I would say, as part of the co-main event, this was a good match.
It was.
Just give me a time length on this match, by the way.
Oh, 10 minutes and 8 seconds.
That's what I expect out of a championship match. Don't give me the 7-minute willy-nilly match. Give me double-digit minutes. Because you know what their massive screw-up is that if they were really trying to shoot for 4 hours, they undercut it by a lot. Which a lot of the other matches should have been longer and build out more time on the card, less commercials, more action. You get what you pay for.
Right.
But you actually showcased 2 athletes for 10 minutes in a championship match. They could have done this with Stephanie and Liv. Why couldn't you do that with them? But you did it with Jade and frickin' Rhea?
I mean, the difference between the two matches, I mean, Liv versus Stephanie Vaquer was 6 minutes and 51 seconds, and this one was 10 minutes and 8 seconds. So that's basically almost a 3.5 minute difference, if my math is correct. I'm not really good at it.
And you had the same thing happen in both matches.
Mm-hmm.
Outside interference. Outcomes different, but you still had outside interference that made the matches longer. I really throw my hands up at this and be like, what are you numbskulls thinking?
Well,
People
are they
paying their
thinking?
hard-earned money. I want to see a match that goes 10 minutes long.
Right. If it has to go to 12 minutes, then so be it. 12 minutes, I don't think is bad.
But I will say, though, Rhea going out as women's champ is a good thing.
No doubt about it.
I listen, I know the naysayers and all of the critics are going to turn around and say, we've seen this story before. But this leads me to that new storyline that I have been craving for. I want to see Io and Rhea one more time. I want to see it. Like, it's been talked up for months. It's been talked up since Io lost the title that this duo should be going against each other.
Right.
There's not going to be a heel turn. They can both fight as spaces and come out even on the other side of the bar.
So you don't. Well, if there was a heel turn coming, who would be the one to turn heel?
Rhea.
Hmm.
Rhea seems as the better fit for the heel. We've already seen the Io heel run when she was running with Asuka. You know, like, I think that's kind of gone. You know what? Like, that's history. When she was running with Bayley and Asuka and Jesus Christ. WrestleMania, yeah. You burned my fucking brain out.
Damage Control.
Yes.
Dakota Kai, who's now, I think, she's no, well, she's,
and who's the pirate? The pirate princess.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh boy.
I'm telling you, WrestleMania burned my brain out.
Kairi Sane.
Okay? She's done that heel run already. I think Io's got to stay base. So if anybody were to turn heel, it would be Rhea, but I don't see that happening. I see this as the friendly rivalry, and you just run with the friendly rivalry, and that's a SummerSlam moment right there. Long-term booking, I got to see Rhea and Io one more time.
Right. And yeah, it was Damage Control. Yeah. The stable you were talking about. And yeah, there was Dakota Kai, who recently started wrestling again. Although I don't know what her wrestling name is.
All right. We did have one quick segment and then we'll get to the main event. I know we're at almost the hour mark, but why, oh why do we have to get fed another Miz moment? Why? Him showing up in the ring with Kit Wilson and fucking just showing your faces made me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. Okay?
John Cena, the host of WrestleMania. I mean, that's where he was announcing the attendance record, right?
Mm-hmm. And then we get an appearance from Danhausen, which I'm going to say, I'm glad in a way they are using Danhausen, okay?
Right.
Because if we're not going to have R-Truth as our comic relief, Danhausen fits the mold. Okay, granted, he didn't curse anybody. Thank God. All right, he didn't curse anybody. But we got to see Danhausen running around with his little people of all sizes. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was entertaining, yeah.
And granted, WWE TKO, I know you tried to stretch your show out a little bit. I think that would have been a little bit funnier earlier in the show. But thank God they are using Danhausen because the comic relief is definitely needed. A lot of promotions do not do that, and Danhausen fits it.
I agree.
Even him trying to throw the 5-knuckle shuffle was hilarious because he did it wrong.
Of course he did.
Funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Watching The Miz and Kit get punched in the balls, that was funny.
That was funny.
Okay? Keep it up with the comedy relief. It was a lovely little 8-minute segment to kind of get some air back into the arena before the main event. But I'm sorry. There's just something funny about somebody getting punched in the balls. And somebody trying to throw somebody else's wrestling maneuver and not doing it properly. Well, only Danhausen. Only Danhausen. It was great.
It was great, yeah.
All right. Main event time. I'm going to let you start up this segment because there's a lot to be said about this segment.
There's a lot to be said, indeed. Well, to be honest, the result was not what I expected. I thought CM Punk was going to retain. I did not see Roman Reigns winning this match. Now, I'm not mad that it went this way, although I do believe this brings up a couple of unanswered questions, which we should probably wait, and we'll get that in a bit. Well, one thing is I know. Well, I don't know if I should say I noticed, but I thought for sure that the final boss, The Rock, was going to show up. That didn't happen. The Usos didn't even get involved. I mean, there was no outside interference in this one. But one of the two, now I might have missed a couple of things because, sometimes you have to get up to go to the bathroom or get some water, but I noticed that one of these two wrestlers, one of them used at least one heel tactic. And do you know which one that was, Ricky?
That would be CM Punk delivering a low blow. Right.
And that was deliberate.
Some of the things that I have to say about this, okay? There were quite a few rumors that was going on. And one of the rumors was that the host, John Cena, was going to get involved. The Rock getting involved. Thank God neither one of them did. Because that really would have kind of defeated the purpose of having this rivalry keep going a little longer. Okay? Now, I'm not going to lie when I tell you, this match was how long? I know there was a little bit of time on this one.
Well, first of all, do you want to take a guess?
I know it went 25 minutes at least.
It went 34. It went 33 minutes and 56 seconds. So, we're going to round this one. This one was 34 minutes.
Okay, 34 minutes longer than the Cody Rhodes Randy Orton main event from night one.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
because that one was 22 minutes and 44 seconds.
Now, we got to understand, not only as wrestling fans, as analysts, neither one of these guys are tremendously young.
I mean,
I know Reigns is a training demon. Okay, like this guy is in the gym. Even if he's doing cardio, he's in there for a long time. He's in there like almost every day.
Right.
CM Punk is not a spring chicken. 34 minutes for these guys legit took a toll on both of them. Where I might have seen a role reversal where it was Cody and Randy going 30 minutes, I probably went that direction.
You know what's interesting?
What?
All four competitors that were in the main events of both respective nights, they are all in their 40s now.
Well, again, these guys are not young. Did the match go a little long? Yes. But definitely you could see toward the end of the match how much a toll it took on both of them.
Right.
Because I think the outcome of this match only changed because Punk was not doing well at the end of the match. Because
And
the
was that
same
planned
thing
or
that he
unplanned?
did to John Cena, where he did the two go to sleeps, the two GTOs back to back, and Punk fell to his knees and pretty much collapsed. That was a definite fucking signal change right there.
So that was unplanned. It was legitimate.
I'm not saying that the match was booked that way. I'm saying that was a change from creative on the fly. Because if Punk was not in any physical standard to be able to continue after he collapsed, that's a call from the back. There's no way Punk now can go on and win the title. Like the physicality of that match, legitimately kicked the shit out of him. I think the elbow off the top of the turnbuckle into Reigns on the table, I think that did a lot more damage to him than they expected. Like the move was there. I think that just totally legit took the wind out of him.
Right.
And this is now a change on the fly.
Right.
So now if you know that Punk really can't continue, then do the title change.
You know that spot when Punk threw a punch, missed, and fell forward?
Yeah.
Do you believe that was part of the match, or did CM Punk, or was that like unplanned?
I think that was unplanned. I really do.
So they had to improvise. They had to call an audit.
I think they called that audible, and they were like, okay, you know what? I mean, obviously the referee's got frickin' earpiece in. Like he knows what's going on from the back. So if he has to translate it into something in the match, be like, you know what? We'll deal with the circumstances as they are, but we're going to make a title change. Punk obviously was not happy about it at some point, but he was okay. But he was kind of physically okay walking out at the end. To me, it doesn't feel right. And the only reason why it doesn't feel right, and I'll use this to kind of wrap up the show. Are we going to get tribal Roman Reigns like we got during the run? Are we going to get the Brock Lesnar treatment to the title now? Where he's only going to show up like the week before the PLE, and then disappear again? Because that was the only benefit of keeping the title on Punk. Punk is there every freaking week.
Right. Well,
and if you don't have a champion there every fucking week, what's the point of putting the title on him? What's the significance of making that icon a champion if they're not going to show up on TV every week? This was a gripe I had when Brock did it. This is a gripe when Roman had it the last time. Now we're getting that same thing again. That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Or do we see this title change again at SummerSlam? And put it back on Punk? Or now you have to resurrect a storyline that you tried to get away from, because now that title was supposed to go on someone else. Now it's not. And that would be Braun Breaker. Are you now going to have Braun Breaker beat Roman Reigns for the heavyweight title?
That would not look good for Roman Reigns.
No, it wouldn't.
You see, well, didn't I say earlier that coming to this point that there was a lot of unanswered questions because of this result?
Yeah.
You see, well, you see, Ricky, you mastered it because I brought it up, okay? And I'm glad that something obviously went in your brain because of based on what you said. Okay, if Roman Reigns, if CM Punk dropped the belt to Roman Reigns, then that must mean that Roman Reigns is going to be there more, because you know how CM Punk is. Because CM Punk, remember how in 2013 when he dropped the belt to The Rock and he was actually angry about it with CM Punk? And CM Punk was absolutely right, because dropping the belt to The Rock, who's not there every single week, who's a part-timer, I mean, CM Punk explained that it made his 434-day title reign look bad. I mean, it made it end bad, which he's right. So I think CM Punk dropped the belt for a reason. And the reason being, okay, I don't know if I should say the reason being, because I don't know why they had him drop the belt. I mean, I don't know. If they go with the same thing, then that's a horrible decision. Okay, and I don't think Roman Reigns is going to have a long-term reign. And at this point in his career, he doesn't need to be champion for a long time, does he?
Okay, but I look at it this problem. Now, this rumor's been going around the last 3 days. 3 days already, okay? Now we're going to be day 4, for me at least, in like another 3 minutes, okay? Be the fact that we're finishing the recording at midnight. The rumors of what is Roman Reigns' contract status, that's a very big question mark. If this is just going to be a temporary title run for Roman Reigns, it doesn't make sense.
Well, actually, check this out.
If his contract, let's say, ends August. August is usually when SummerSlam is, right? He's going to have at least another 3-month reign running into SummerSlam. Okay?
Well,
so
we'll check this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
He runs with this. How they run with it, I don't agree with the treatment of the way it was with him and Brock. He definitely would have to be around more, but also remember that he just filmed a movie. He started to transition his career from wrestling to the entertainment industry of doing movies and things like that. That's another question you got to throw in there. Is all of that going to prevent him from going back to his regular role on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, whichever one they decide to stick him on? You know what I mean? Like, there are way too many questions now running around with him being the champion instead of Punk being the champion. Punk's not doing movies. He's not doing TV. Reigns is doing movies and TV. Like I mentioned on night 1, you had Fatu go over Drew McIntyre. Why? Because he's filming the Highlander movie for a feud that they can continue at a later date. I don't think this is done. They'll have at least 2 more matches. Question will be, when?
Right. Because you mentioned that Roman Reigns just got done filming a movie, which Cody Rhodes is in that film too, just so you know, because the movie is Street Fighter, which is scheduled to be released in the United States this coming fall in October. Well, at first I thought that they were about to film, but then I should remember we saw a trailer during the show, didn't we?
Yes, we saw trailers of it. There were even yesterday, before WrestleMania Night 1 started, they showed them at wrestling previews, like movie previews, where they were dressed up as the characters.
Right.
50 Cent was dressed up. Reigns was dressed up. Cody was dressed up. Chun-Li was part of it. Cammy was there. And, oh God, I can't remember his name either.
Ryu?
No. Well, they had Ryu and Ken there.
Oh, it's Ryu. Okay.
But the one that was dressed up as, the green character.
I haven't played Street Fighter in many years, so
hair. I can't remember his name, but they had like a movie preview, and all of the characters were there. They were running around promoting the video, the movie.
I was always more of a Mortal Kombat guy anyway, but no, the film is post production now, which, if I'm correct, means that that filming has wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean that the heads of TKO. Because they have their hands in all sorts of different things. And now with The Rock working with TKO, who says that a bunch of the wrestlers now cannot do like they're doing now? Like they're out filming movies. They're not going to be doing wrestling forever. They have to find an afterlife for what happens after their career diminishes. And Reigns is already there. He's already been in a few movies. Now he's just filmed Street Fighter. Like, again, what's the availability for all these guys? That's a huge question mark on putting the title on a guy that you know is not going to be there 100% of the time. He's a part-timer.
Right. See, and I was about to say, because I wasn't sure if the film was pre-production or post-production, but thankfully I was able to find out, because I was going to say that if the film was pre-production and they put the belt on Roman Reigns, then that makes zero sense whatsoever. But no, the filming has wrapped up, but still, as you said, Roman Reigns is a part-timer.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to end the recording for WrestleMania 42, Night 2. Night 2 leaves us with a lot of questions.
Yeah. And if you have answers, then leave them in the comments.
Not as many questions as Night 1, but it leaves us with definitely more questions. The retirement of Brock Lesnar, the questioning of the title change of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Like the Bear Man said, comment down below. Like, share, follow, subscribe to anything that you see or hear this show on. And Bear Man will give you the final rundown, and I will give you our c'est la vie for the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ringside Chaos is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and it's available on YouTube on the Pipe Bomb Radio YouTube channel. So please, again, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way, Ricky and I will know for sure that you will not be missing out on any exciting upcoming content. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor and check out my video game channel. It is called the Texas Gaming Bear. That is the Texas Gaming Bear. And if you'd like to follow me on X, well, then you just go and find me. It's Bearman of Texas, but it's just TX. You do not have to spell it out. And if you want to follow the Bear of Texas podcast page, it's the Bear Texas _ podcast. I'm also available on Instagram, both accounts, and you can also find me on TikTok. Just look for the Bear of Texas, because I am out there, ladies and gentlemen.
All righty. On behalf of the Bear Man, yours truly, the master of mayhem, this was Ringside Chaos, and we will catch you next time